times did you get mad at someone only to learn you got mad at them for something that they didn't really do? Were they in a situation where you shouldn't have gotten mad at them? Hey there, I'm Esther Rapport, your host of the Life Kicks University podcast, and I am excited to be speaking to you about self-control, especially when you get mad about someone else. Self-control, or the act about thinking about self-control, is about one of the 28 cognitive functions. Cognitive functions are the thing that make up thinking, and when one of them are weak, it affects all other areas of your life. So if you have a hard time with self-control, you probably see it affecting many, many areas of your life. I'll give you an example. Recently, we had a major snowstorm. I know you are listening to this in April, but I am recording this in February, and we had a massive snowstorm. It took a while to just shovel everything. And a couple of days after the snowstorm, when there's still a lot of snow on the ground, I pull into my driveway. Now, my driveway is a bit interesting. You have to pull up and then turn so you get into the garage. Now, usually I come in and I pull into my slot, and my dad comes in and pulls right into his slot, and there's no problem, so we could each get out right away. However, I came home one day in the middle of the day when I don't usually, and the car, my dad's car, was parked right in the middle. He pulled up, but he didn't turn in. And I was like, oh my God, I have so many things to bring in. I'm in a massive rush. I do not have time for this. Okay. Good thing he wasn't there because I was really mad. But I come to the house and he's about to go out the door. And I was like, why do you park the car there? Really good thing I didn't yell at him. But I was angry. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I thought you weren't going to come home. So I just decided to park there. But really, I did that because there was still a whole bunch of snow there. And I wanted to clear it up so he would have an easier time walking. He already snowed the whole pathway, but not the actual part on the driveway where the cars were coming in and out. And it was getting really slushy and just snowy gross that he decided to shovel it, but you couldn't if the car was there. You see, that was a place where I could have come from a place of understanding instead of getting angry. So I was angry just for myself in my brain, and that affected me. I didn't have that self-control to recognize there's maybe something else. Now, why are we talking about self-control? Well, after the previous episode with John and Anna about the secret of allowing takes a lot of self-control, because you are recognizing that there is something that is going on in here, and I am going to do something different. I'm going to change the way my brain views the situation. Right now, my wife is in a current situation that is not doing so well, or had a bad day at work, or something happened that I am, instead of just being angry and frustrated and being defensive, I am coming from a loving and understanding point of view. Now that takes self-control. So how can you go and improve your sense of self-control? Okay. First thing is to remind yourself to always look at the bigger picture. Whatever's happening here, train your brain to, instead of just jumping to the conclusion, think bigger. What else happened here? What else is going on here? I am missing details. Remember, we want to come from a point of curiosity, so that way you could really go and connect with your partner instead of attacking them. Now, there are going to be time periods in your life where there will be a couple of weeks or a couple of months where you will have to give them a lot of space, right? After a miscarriage, as Anna spoke about, or if they lose their job, or they're just sick for a couple of weeks, then it is quite some time you have to go and be allowing. So during that time, you want to make sure you're also taking care of yourself, making sure you're sleeping well, make sure you're eating well, and just do what you need so that way you could be there allowing for them. Now, another thing you'll want to do is to get better at self-control and being and allowing is, if you think there are certain time periods where you constantly find yourself getting defensive or attacking, before you come into that situation, do a tiny bit of exercise, even just 10 jumping jacks, or just move your arms or something to get some of that energy flowing in your body, right? So if you always find that when you come home from work, or whenever your kids come home, or in the morning, so before you go and speak to your kids, just move a little bit so that way you have oxygen flowing in your body, and it will be easier for you to go and exercise. Self-control. Now, my last tip for you today is You want to play a game. Try today to play the game of just self-control. What is going on in this situation and how can I make that switch in my brain? How can I do something a little differently? Give them the benefit of the doubt type of thing. Now, you might not even have to play the game because it might actually happen to you in real life. But if it doesn't, make it a conscious decision today to go and play that a little bit. So your brain will start getting that practice of having an opportunities to have more self-control. So your challenge today is to go and try those challenges that we spoke about, specifically about making self-control into a game. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
That's all for this episode of the Life Picks University podcast, but I have a huge favor to ask of you that will not only support the show, but will also help the people you love most. We are striving for 1 million downloads by the end of 2025, and we can't do this without your help. If you love this episode, please share it with 2 of your family and friends so they too can rewire their brains to have an extraordinary marriage. It was awesome spending time with you, and I'll see you on the next episode.